There have been no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Kern County, although nearly a dozen people are being monitored.
We're live downtown at the CSUB fundraiser, where all money goes to the Roadrunner Athletic Fund.
And your local election headquarters is preparing for tonight's 5th district debate. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. Kern County Public Health announced this morning they're monitoring 11 people who have been in areas of concern for possible coronavirus. They reiterate that these people are all low risk. Those patients are being monitored because they recently traveled abroad to areas of concern. Officials point out no one is showing symptoms. None of these people have been tested for the virus, and County Public Health emphasizes there have been no confirmed cases of coronavirus in Kern County. But the department and local hospitals are preparing. This morning, department spokeswoman Michelle Corson came on 17 News at Sunrise to dispel some of the misconceptions about coronavirus.
You really have no reason to suspect yourself being a coronavirus potential victim unless you have come into contact with a known traveler or you yourself have traveled to China or one of these areas that have been identified. You should be more suspect of the flu that we know is circulating currently here in our community. We are still in the peak of flu season.
Yesterday, the Tulare County Public Health Department said 9 people in the county were in self-isolation after recently returning to the United States after traveling through China. Both San Francisco and Orange County have declared emergencies due to the coronavirus. Kern County Public Health said there are currently no plans to issue a local emergency. Governor Gavin Newsom and state health officials just wrapped up a news conference talking about the coronavirus across the state. Newsom says right now, 28 people in California have the virus and 8,400 people in the state are being monitored. One of those people who tested positive for the virus does not know how they got sick. That person is in Solano County, not too far from Sacramento. State health officials say that case is significant because the source is unknown, but they added people living in California have a very low risk of becoming infected with the virus.
We currently have people in the field working in the community at the local, from the state, and also from the CDC. They're investigating the cases and they're taking action. They're contacting any individuals who might have been exposed and they're isolating them. This is a fluid situation at this time, and I want to emphasize that the risk to the general public remains low.
Although health officials say they are preparing for a worst-case scenario, the governor says the state will speed up the process of coronavirus testing. Meantime, here's some things you should know. The symptoms of coronavirus are fever, cough, respiratory issues, signs that mimic the seasonal flu. Public Health says you should take normal flu season precautions, such as washing your hands, staying home if you're sick, and paying attention to the travel warnings issued by the CDC. Other health news this afternoon, 11 people have now died this flu season in Kern County. That's according to the Kern County Department of Public Health. That is 4 more than the latest report last Thursday. Last season, 9 people died from the flu in Kern County. Again, anyone experiencing flu symptoms is encouraged to stay home, cover a cough or sneeze with tissue, wash your hands often and thoroughly, and avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. KCPH reminds the public it's not too late to get your flu shot. This morning, the second firefighter killed in last week's deadly Porterville Public Library fire was laid to rest. Funeral services were held this morning for firefighter Patrick Jones in his hometown of Tulare. Jones died last week alongside Captain Raymond Figueroa while they were fighting a fire that engulfed Porterville Public Library. On Tuesday, Captain Figueroa, who was from Delano, was laid to rest at North Kern Cemetery. Today, firefighters from all over the state came to Tulare to pay their respects to Jones and his family. Tulare County Fire Chief Charlie Norman says this loss is being felt across Tulare County and beyond.
Everything we have in this area is such a fraternal order. It's such a brotherhood. When one of our firefighters becomes hurt or injured, it affects all of us. This is a very tight-knit community. It's a big county, but it's a very tight-knit area. And I just want the community to remember great men, great people. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. These are such great people.
Tomorrow, a memorial service will be held in Porterville for both Jones and Figueroa. That's happening at the Church of the Nazarene on West Olive Avenue, and it is set to begin at 11 a.m. 17 News is your local election headquarters. Bakersfield Congressman and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says the House should condemn the positive comments Senator Bernie Sanders made about Fidel Castro's regime. In a 60 Minutes interview, the Democratic presidential candidate praised the literacy programs implemented by the late Cuban leader. Sanders said, while he opposes the authoritarian nature of Castro's Cuban revolution, it's unfair to say everything Castro did was bad. McCarthy said Thursday a House vote on a formal condemnation is in the works.
Mario Diaz-Balart will be introducing a resolution condemning Sanders' comment, specifically for disregarding the history of what has happened in Cuba, the human rights abuses, the forced indoctrination, and the authoritarian actions on the policies of the communist Castro dictatorship in Cuba. It should go without saying that the American people deserve more. This is nothing more than a dereliction of duty, and I respect and expect all members to work together to put the public first and, of course, and foremost, their safety.
Diaz-Balart, a Florida Republican, is Cuban-American. His aunt was Castro's first wife, and his family fled the Castro regime. 5 people are running to be the next Kern County supervisor for the 5th District, and tonight they'll face off in a debate. Incumbent Supervisor Leticia Perez is going up against challengers Ronnie Cruz, Ben Valdez, David Abbasi, and Ricardo Herrera. You can watch tonight live on TV 17 at 7 p.m. 17's Jim Scott and Nathan Wallace will moderate. You can also watch at KGET.com or on our Facebook page. 5 people are running. Meantime, 70% of California schools are more than a quarter century old. It's that reality that inspired a legislature to place Prop 13 on next Tuesday's ballot, a $15 billion bond for repair, renovation, and construction of aging schools.
There is absolutely no reason why any student in the state of California should go to school in facilities that are not safe. And we are not the only place that's experiencing this. There are other districts like ours.
At the tiny rural Maple School District west of Shafter, they know all about campus health and safety needs. Superintendent Julie Bush said when she arrived 6 years ago, classrooms had water coming in through electrical fixtures. The fire alarm system didn't work and the roofs had dry rot. It took Maple School 6 long years to get funding approved and construction underway for improvements. It might have taken half that time had Prop 13 been in place. But is Prop 13 the right vehicle to do it? Critics like Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association say no. The state already has a $22 billion budget surplus. And the Kern County Taxpayers Association warns of another red flag.
This measure will allow all school districts in the state of California, their bonding capacity will increase 60% overnight if it passes. They're changing the rules of the game for local bond measures. It's a red flag for us, so we just said we can't support that.
Proposition 13 requires a 2/3 vote to pass. Today, you have a chance to grab a tasty lunch and help out the CSUB runners. It's all taking place at the annual spring barbecue behind the Fox Theater. That's where we find 17's Taylor Shaw this afternoon. He's live out there in downtown Bakersfield, where you can come by and grab some delicious tri-tip. How is it? Have you grabbed a sandwich of your own so far, Taylor?
I have not grabbed a sandwich yet. I've actually tried some of the tri-tip. It's delicious. And we've got great weather out here, great food, like you said, and some great people. And joining me right now is one of the organizers, Jim Darling. And Jim, what makes this event so special?
Hey, it's all volunteers. Everything's been donated. What wasn't donated, we purchased, our committee. So when you spend your hard-earned $10 for a fabulous lunch, courtesy of your own Barney Storms and his barbecue services, all the money goes to CSUB athletic scholarships.
Okay, for people that are coming out here today, what do they get for that $10?
You get a monstrous sandwich, a beautiful marinated barbecued tri-tip sandwich, get chips and a drink.
You actually got one of those sandwiches for us right here. Let's take a look at that.
And that's not staging. That's we didn't make this one bigger for the news. So it's a great sandwich. You'd be lucky to finish it.
Okay, and you mentioned that this money goes to the CSUB Roadrunners Athletic Fund. What exactly does that do for these student athletes?
It's everything. It's a game changer, literally. Most of these kids gifted athletes, great students, don't have the money to go to college. And unfortunately, right now, we were only at 70% of funding for scholarships. Obviously, we'd like the goal to be 100%. These young men and women, they give back to the community. The majority of them stay here in Kern County and get great jobs. And guess what? They call Bakersfield the greatest place on earth because that's where they got their break.
All right, Jim, thank you so much. But before we let you go, where can people come out and get it? We're behind the Fox Theater, right?
Right next to the Fox Theater. We're actually at 2020 G Street, if you want to put that on your navigation. But right behind the Fox Theater on 21st near H. G is the next street west of that. Okay. So we have a drive-through. You can eat here. Shout out to your new news intern, Robert Price, and his command of the English language. So way to go, Bob. But we invite everybody to come down. We'll be here until we run out. So I think by 1:30 or so we'll probably be out of foods.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much. You can head out right behind the Fox Theater, grab yourself a lunch, and it's all $10. We're going to send it back to the studio now.
All right. I've heard they're pretty delicious. Thank you so much, Taylor. We'll check back in a little bit. A lot of people are jumping on board with Meatless Mondays, and a new study shows another possible benefit to skipping the steak altogether. Plus, health experts warn of troubling trends of women just looking to wind down with wine. Your 17 Health Watch is next. All right, welcome back. Checking out that forecast. Another spring-like day out there, and let's check in with Kevin for what to expect as we near the weekend.
It was a beautiful day yesterday with some record-breaking temperatures. Look at that, 82 degrees. The old record, 80, and that was set back in 1992. So it's definitely been warm. We're not even in spring yet. That officially doesn't arrive until March 19th. It's going to be another nice day. We may see some high clouds drift in from the southwest, but that will be about it, at least in the short term. Ridge of high pressure will break down in the coming days. That'll open the storm door, but I don't think we'll get much out of it. Temperatures today, 72 in Sacramento, 79 in Fresno. Nice day to the south. In fact, LA will be hovering near 90 with 87, San Diego at 81 and 67 to the east of us in Vegas. Here's a look at the beaches. Morro Bay, a beautiful day, mostly sunny skies and 78 degrees. Water temperature holding at 56. Again, this ridge kind of moves east the next several days, so we'll start to see a cool down. And this system not going to bring rain, again, just high clouds, but it will open the door for a system out of the north, and that will arrive for this weekend. But it's going to be kind of like the last system. It'll ride along the coastline here and then move south and east. So we're going to get the tail edge of it, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of rain. We will see a cool down, though. That'll be the big headline, I think. We go from the 80s, and then we see the big cool down for the weekend. We could still use some rain. Last 5 Februarys look like this from 19 to 15, and each year we picked up a good amount of rain. The lowest amount was 2016 with 1,800. We've only picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain this February. So what does that mean? Well, through the 26th, Bakersfield is on pace to tie for its second driest February since rainfall records began here, which was in 1893. So you can see just how dry this February has been. The headline, sunny skies will persist with near record temperatures again tomorrow, and then our next system will bring that chance of rain. But the big headline, again, that big drop in temperatures could see a 20-degree drop. How much rain? I'm going to put between a trace and 2/100 of an inch if we're lucky. Mountain rain amounts between 100th and 5/100 of an inch. Now, air quality today will be moderate with an AQI at 72. Call for plenty of sunshine, some high clouds, and 81 in Bakersfield, Delano, McFarland. 77 in Taft for the mountains in the Kern River Valley. 67 in Frazier Park. 66 in Tehachapi. 70s for the Kern River Valley with Lake Isabel at 75. 77 in Weldon. And then for the desert, sunny skies, 74 in Mojave and mid-70s out of Ridgecrest. Here's your extended forecast, and you can see tomorrow some clouds, 82. 76 on Saturday, but then really a cool down on Sunday with mid-50s and a chance of showers. We'll rebound those temperatures by mid-next week back into the 70s. For the mountains, a little breezy for the weekend and cooler. You go from 64 on Saturday to 43 on Sunday, and then lower 60s return mid-next week. And then for the Kern River Valley, we'll keep you in the 70s through Saturday, 50s and a chance of rain on Sunday, and then right back up near 70 as we approach next Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. Have a great afternoon.
And your 17 Health Watch this afternoon. Obesity in America has risen sharply over the past 2 decades. That's according to the latest government data. It shows the adult obesity rate reached just over 42% in 2018, up from 30% in the year 2000. About 9% of Americans are considered severely obese. Obesity rates remain highest among African Americans and middle-aged adults. A new study suggests a vegetarian diet could lower the risk of stroke. Researchers in Taiwan followed over 13,000 adults who were vegetarians or who ate meat and fish. They found vegetarians were 60 to 74% less likely to suffer a stroke, regardless of any other risk factors like high blood pressure. A study from the National Institutes of Health points out a big problem women have with alcohol. Haley Hernandez reports.
It's amazing how women at the end of the day, just to relax, they reach out for a bottle of wine.
Dr. Carmenia Davidson says here at Kelsey-Seybold and the hospitals where she works, she's treating patients who justify their alcohol dependency because it's socially acceptable.
While they're cooking, they can easily just drink alcohol or wine and think that they're just cooking. But by the end of the cooking session, they've already consumed more than half a bottle of wine. We see it.
And according to one study, more women are dying from it at twice the rate as before.
There was a larger increase in alcohol-related illnesses or disease in white women in the last 17 years.
We're not just talking about binge drinking. She says women who drink more than 5 ounces of wine or 12 ounces of beer a day, every day, are considered heavy drinkers. And they're dying because she says many women may not notice the symptoms of liver disease early enough to reverse the symptoms.
Jaundice is very common. Okay, yellowing of the skin, of the eyes. So we see that. So it's amazing how a little bit of shrugging off in the beginning and say, oh, it's just 1 drink or 2. But later on, if you stretch that out over a few years, that can lead to liver cirrhosis and cancer.
Doctors say they struggle getting female patients to cut down because at home, it's how they often connect with their partners. And most people have no idea the correct portion for 1 drink, which is 5 ounces for wine or 12 ounces for beer. The coronavirus continues to wreak havoc on the U.S. stock market. We'll have a look at how stocks are doing today and how it could be affecting your 401k and other investments.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
All right, welcome back. We are checking stocks. They are officially in correction territory. And today the Dow is down about 750 points so far in trading. The NASDAQ down 242. The S&P 500 down 78. Meantime, checking out oil prices. Those are also falling. West Texas Intermediate selling for $46.90 a barrel at last check. Midway Sunset started the day at $47.98 a barrel. As we're seeing with the stock market and oil prices, the coronavirus does more than affect health. It can also affect wealth. Microsoft says the virus will likely prevent the company from reaching its sales guidance. A few weeks ago, the tech giant announced its third quarter revenue estimates would be between 10 and 11 billion. But the closing of some Chinese factories due to the coronavirus has played havoc with sales. Officials say its Windows and Surface laptops are more negatively impacted than previously anticipated. Microsoft expects it could be a while before operations get back to normal. Other companies and industries have been voicing concerns about coronavirus causing problems for the bottom line. As fears of a pandemic are rattling global markets for a 5th consecutive trading session, many are wondering how is this impacting their 401k and other retirement investments. Meredith Wood hears from the experts.
Coronavirus pandemic fears infecting U.S. markets, rattling investors, and contaminating your retirement.
I think everyone's uncomfortable. The market is more like my 4-year-old than it is like a college professor. It's not some logical entity.
Investors are concerned the virus will negatively impact consumer demand and disrupt manufacturing supply chains in major industries. So far, this trading week, the Dow Index has lost more than 2,000 total points.
It's a big drop, but what the normal person does then is say, I want control. And so therefore, I'll go ahead and sell off. I'll go ahead and go to safety. And that can be one of the most damaging things for your portfolio.
So, is your nest egg safe? Experts say historically markets have rebounded from previous outbreaks and that this is just a short-lived blip in the market. But people close to retirement who have been more aggressive than they otherwise would be should be the most vigilant.
I'm worried the most for those people, because if we see a significant drop and they haven't adjusted their portfolio to be realistic as they move towards retirement, that could be really damaging for them.
For the rest of us, experts say don't panic and continue to add to your 401k and invest in the stock market.
Now might be the time you need to adjust and go, I'm going to take this seriously. So whether it's this specific situation that causes us to go into a recession, or it's something in months from now that I'm actually ready, my portfolio is ready for that kind of a drop.
Meredith Wood reporting. New evidence in the college admissions scandal that lawyers for Lori Loughlin say exonerate the actress and her husband. That story coming up next. Welcome back. Kobe Bryant memorabilia is being prepared for auction in April. Items like his cement handprints from Grauman's Chinese Theater will be available for sale. The auction had been planned before he and his daughter Gianna, along with 7 other people, were killed in a helicopter crash last month. Other items from Kobe Bryant up for auction are signed game shoes, jerseys, and uniforms from seasons when he wore both number 8 and number 24. Kobe's memorabilia will be part of a sports legend sale held by Julian's Auctions planned for April 30th in Beverly Hills. Items will also be available for bid online. Evidence produced by prosecutors in the college admissions cheating scheme exonerate Full House actress Lori Loughlin and her fashion designer husband, according to the couple's attorneys. In a court filing yesterday, the famous couple's lawyers indicate that notes from the scheme's alleged mastermind show that investigators sought to pressure him to lie. William Singer has pleaded guilty in the scheme, which prosecutors say involved wealthy parents paying to have their children's college entrance exams boosted or to have their children falsely recruited to universities as student athletes. Singer cooperated with investigators and wore a wire. Loughlin and her husband, Massimo Giannulli, were scheduled for a status conference today where trial dates were supposed to be set. When we come back here on 17 News at noon, another look back out at the CSUB barbecue happening downtown right now. Welcome back. Finally, here at noon, you have a chance to grab a tasty lunch and help out the CSUB Road Runners. It's time for their annual barbecue. 17th Taylor Shop was live out there just a little bit ago for us, showing us the tasty sandwiches tri-tip that they're serving up. It's $10. That's going to get you your sandwich, chips, and a drink. Again, this is all happening in downtown Bakersfield, the corner of 21st and G Streets. That's actually behind the Fox Theater. And yeah, they're grilling down there right now. This is all going to benefit local student athletes at CSUB. It's going to their scholarship fund. So head on down there, support our runners, grab a delicious lunch. We've had a few of those tri-tip sandwiches brought back here into our newsroom, and they look pretty delicious. Again, walk up or drive through. It's just $10. So head on here in downtown Bakersfield. They'll be serving those up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's all for us here at noon. We'll see you back tonight at 5 and 6. Have a great Thursday.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.